What is going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm finally back from my trip from Cooperstown. I had a lot of fun there. And as you saw, I couldn't quite get out videos. I could only get out videos when I was in Boston. But now I'm back, and I'm a little late on this. UFC Vegas 109 happened a couple days ago, and I'm really only going to recap one fight, and that is the main event that took place between Roman Dolidze and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. And I'm just going to give you my thoughts and just reactions on it and breaking down it. And also probably either later today or tomorrow I'll probably make my UFC 319 predictions video. But yeah, guys, let's just get into it. Anthony Hernandez is the middleweight Merab. I think we all know that at this point. I mean, you can't go 2 minutes without seeing someone saying that when they're in a video talking about Anthony Hernandez. He literally is Merab at middleweight. And he just Merabed the guy who Merab was cornering. His Georgian bro, Roman Dolidze, did not have a good time fighting Anthony Hernandez. He got completely dominated. There were some talks about like a 50-40 scorecard. I mean, it was just complete domination. I didn't get to see this fight, but I've seen a bunch of stuff on it. I've seen highlights. I've watched it on ESPN. Like, I mean, when I say I didn't get to see this fight, I didn't see it live, but I watched it on ESPN. I've heard about it. Yeah, Anthony Hernandez just completely drowned Roman Dolidze in this fight. After the first round, you could tell that Roman Dolidze did not want to be there anymore. And the first round wasn't even that much of domination. You could just tell that Anthony Hernandez was in complete control over Roman Dolidze. Everything he was dishing out was working. It was a complete masterclass by Anthony Hernandez. And he would mix in the grappling. You know, he would just drown Roman Dolidze, knees to the body shots that were just draining him, draining his cardio. And Anthony Hernandez is a cardio freak. That's why they call him the middleweight Merab, because Merab has the best cardio in the UFC. And Anthony Hernandez's cardio on par with Merab Dvalishvili. Yeah, he just completely dominated and outclassed Roman Dolidze for 4 rounds and then finished. And can we talk about that finish, man? He literally bulldog choked him and dragged him across the octagon and made him quit and then dropped him. I mean, that was one of the most savage gangster finishes if I've ever seen one. I mean, that was just insane. And you even have DC after the fight interviewing him going, you are now my favorite fighter. And, I think Anthony Hernandez is going to skyrocket now on people's favorite prospects. And he's not even a prospect anymore. This dude is a contender and favorite fighters list. And I was actually thinking, I might make a favorite fighters list soon, and Anthony Hernandez might make an appearance on it. I love his, just smash mouth style. Just goes in there, does his work, drains you, beats you up, and then finishes you. It's really a great style to watch. And yeah, Anthony Hernandez, he's going to keep pushing forward. And I might sound crazy, but I might favor him against whoever wins Dricus or Hamzat. I know a popular matchup for Anthony Hernandez is Reinier de Ridder, because Reinier de Ridder just won. He just beat Robert Whittaker like a week back, or maybe like 2 weeks back. Yeah, he beat him by split decision. A very close fight. I don't think Reinier de Ridder would pose any problem for Anthony Hernandez. I think I would pick Anthony Hernandez to win that fight by probably a submission or knockout. TKO is what I mean, not like a knockout, but like a TKO in round, like 3, 4, 5, if it's the main event. So yeah, I think they should probably make that fight. Anthony Hernandez versus Reinier de Ridder is a very good fight. They're both wins. Roman Dolidze and Robert Whittaker matches up. I think for Roman Dolidze, maybe you could do Roman Dolidze versus Roman Kopylov. 2 Romans fighting, because Roman Kopylov just got completely destroyed by Paulo Costa at UFC 318. Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 3. So, yeah, I think that's a good fight. Roman Kopylov, Roman Dolidze, both coming off losses where they both got nominated. I think it's a good fight. And Anthony Hernandez, I think, should fight RDR. Also, Imavov and Baralho are fighting at UFC Paris in September. So, yeah, it depends. Maybe you could do whoever wins, it's a whole fluster because, whoever wins both of those fights are both going to be wanting title shots. Dricus and Hamzat's happening. I'm super hyped for that fight. It's like maybe the fight of the year in terms of matchup and where they are in their careers. And, Anthony Hernandez completely dominated Roman Dolidze at UFC Vegas 109. And, as for Dricus, Duplessis, and Hamzat Chimaev goes, I won't get into that too much because I'm going to make my predictions. But, that's a 50-50 fight. I keep bouncing around in my head on who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Hamzat to sub him. I'm going to pick Dricus, to win by decision, or Dricus to win by TKO. It's just so hard to choose who I think is going to win that fight because, on one hand you got Hamzat, who, for all we know, he could do the same thing he did to Robert Whittaker, and he could just friggin' shoot like a bullet at Dricus Duplessis, take him down, and put him in like a rear naked choke and just submit him immediately. Or Dricus could show off that he has great takedown defense, and he could use his goofy Looney Tunes style, just to evade, Hamzat and edge out a decision, or maybe even hurt him in the later rounds, like how Usman did or Gilbert Burns did, and finish him. So, that's just such a good fight, and that's why I'm so excited for UFC 319. And yeah, also, RDR, I don't think is gonna beat Anthony Hernandez if they fight, but if we did and Dricus won, all I'm saying is RDR versus Dricus for the Looney Tunes belt wouldn't be so bad. It would not be so bad. But, that's besides the point. Anthony Hernandez dominates Roman Dolidze, puts him in like a freaking rear naked choke, drags him more like a bulldog choke, and just drags him across the octagon, drops him in the middle, looks down, he knows what he just did. And yeah, Anthony Hernandez now a fan favorite, you can tell. And I know there's some fights. Steve Erceg back in the win column. All I gotta say though, Steve Erceg, I think we already knew this, definitely not the same guy, because why was this fight so close? But you could have said that from a dude who was like number 10 ranked, taking on the champion, putting up a great fight, barely losing a close decision, then having a contenders, eliminator bout, getting flatlined in one round by Kai Kara France, and then fighting Brandon Moreno and just getting outclassed for 5 rounds, to having going to close decisions with Ode Osborne. Look at this dude's record. He's 13-9. This dude is not good. How many L's can you have before you get cut? 13-9 is an atrocious record. Yeah, and this is not a good look for Steve Erceg. I don't think Steve Erceg is going to be getting anywhere near the top anymore. Maybe if Joshua Van pulls a win out of his butt and beats Pantoja, you could do that, but I think Joshua Van would absolutely do Steve Erceg dirty if they've ever fought. He's lost to Moreno. Yeah, he's just